Wake up world, Aussie 59. I decided to make this show a little bit lighter. Okay, this is my 5th show. Few people have watched the first 4 and shared. I see that I've had people at least look in on my channel from the Middle East in the eastern part of the world. Everyone's welcome. I'm here to welcome you to my channel and give you an idea of what I'm trying to format it as. Okay? I want to make it someplace where people can go and listen to things that might interest them that went on in the world. So the best way I found that I could do that and not force my own individual opinion totally upon people, right? Because my idea is not to force my opinion on you, but for you to form your own opinion of things going on. So the way I figured I could probably come up with this was coming up with Sunday Drive. Drive meaning to drive your life forward, to go forward in life and do things and figure where you're going and stuff like that. Okay? Because that's what I used to do on Sundays before I go to work on Monday. Okay, is I'd sit around and see where my life was going. I had to plan it week by week because I was an unfortunate victim of a maladjusted health system. My mother was a bad diabetic, and that back in 1958, up here in Canada, patients didn't have the right to know what their doctors are doing. So her doctor had given her some drugs to abort me. My grandmother overheard what happened, and she rushed my mother to St. Joseph's Hospital. The other hospital is a government-run hospital. Okay? So if I seem a little angry at the government at times, it's probably because I got a bit of a chip on my shoulder. But if they had their way, my shoulder wouldn't be here. And so because of that, I was born with a heart condition. It was known as a blue baby. And I couldn't do very much physical stuff for the first 10 years of my life. So I was stuck watching TV, looking at books, listening to adults, watching things go on around me. So that became a habit embedded in me to observe all sorts of things, which led, when I got older, to become a salesman. Helped quite a bit. But up until I was 10, I couldn't do anything. And then there was this open heart surgery that took place when I was 8 or 9, I believe it was. It was supposed to take place at 8. But at that time, I was the youngest person to have that surgery. Okay? They put a pig valve inside my chest. And the best doctors, all the way up until I was 16, gave me a life range of between 18 and 28. So I had no problems passing my grades in school. And I wasn't going to live a long life, so I wasn't going to go out and waste what time I had and not enjoy life. So I decided at a young age to leave school. Okay? Because I'd already taken a lot of adult responsibilities in my life. Because when I was 9 years old, they had the open heart surgery. They performed that. And within 6 months of that time, my mother passed away. And at that time, I basically lost a big part of my father. So you can basically say that I've been dealing with all sorts of things from a very, very young age. So I've learned to observe a lot of what goes on around me because I've had to protect myself from a very young age. So the instinct of survival is a very, very strong thing in the human animal. So at 16, I decided I was going to live as long as I could live. And of course, because of my life expectancy, my instinct to live was stronger, I guess, maybe. But, so I decided I was going to live. And so I figured I'd get my high school. That's what I was going for. I was going to stick around till I was 18 and get my high school. But there was a big teacher strike when I was in grade 10. And they were out for 22 weeks. And the Board of Education said, we'll give all the kids a pass this year. When they said that, I realized, well, I guess my grade 12 doesn't mean as much because I'm not going further on in school anyhow. And I got a job working for Cripple Civilians, Goodwill. And I used to do furniture pickups and pickups of clothing at people at the night boxes. I did all sorts of jobs for them for a while. Then I started getting some heart palpitations at the time, but they didn't think it was heart palpitations. They thought it was epilepsy. And when it finally got diagnosed as heart palpitations, I was 17 years old. And the Toronto Welfare Department, because I was off because I was sick, the Toronto Welfare Department wanted me to get Canada Pension, permanent disability, at 17 years of age. And I didn't feel like I was anywhere near giving up. And I fought that, and I said no. And within about 2 years, I was back into doing other things. I worked for Allied Van Lines. I worked on a piano squad, moving pianos in and out of houses. I've handled $1 million pieces of furniture. I have cooked in a restaurant. I have done all sorts of things because I wanted to live my life and I wanted to experience things. So that's what I decided to do. I never bothered driving because I didn't want to be responsible for anybody else's life to be short, and I didn't want to take chances because, I don't know, I might decide, hey, yeah, I'm okay, and I'm not. If I don't have that license, I'm not turning on a car. So that explains why you'll see a lot of my videos with driving games, because I enjoy the idea, but I never bothered with the license. And so this week I spent a lot of time putting playlists together with a bunch of different subjects. So you can take a look and make judgments for yourself whether we're getting the truth or we're not. My idea is like, hey man, have your stories, but tell us the truth. Don't tell us we're gonna run out of oil by 2020, and then in 2014 explain to us the price is going down because of the surplus. Like, wake up world. That's the sort of idiocy that has given me inkling, whatever you want to call it, I guess inkling, yeah. The idea, the inspiration. I guess I'll have to say that's where a negative comment has actually inspired something. It's inspired this in me to actually speak out about the crap that's going on. And I hope I can inspire others to speak out about it. Because, like, probably the headline that got your first attention to me was, "News is not terrorism. Neither are opinions." Okay? Neither are opinions. If something doesn't look right, well, when my parents went to school and when I started school, there was, what was that now? Shoot, I kind of forget because they don't teach it anymore. They start with a certain letter. R? No. There's only one of those that starts with an R. And actually the other one really doesn't even have an R in it because it's mathematics. So I guess it must be, who said that? Where? What? When? Why am I trying to remember these words? Well, maybe the 5 W's. Who, what, where, why, and when is something that should have been taught to our kids. And some of us seem to have forgotten it. So, I think one very important thing is that, hey man, if you don't like me, great. Tell people why you don't like me, then they'll make their own decisions. Right? If you like me, tell them why so they can decide. But just make sure when you tell them something, make sure you tell them to go see for themselves. Actually, I'm not that way. If you like my videos, like them. If you feel like sharing them, share them. We all have our right to our opinion. And I don't feel that our governments are doing the best interest of us right now. And I think they're interested in corporations, which, by the way, don't pay the bills. It's us that pay the bills. We're the bill payers. Okay? We pay the bill. Okay? That's what our tax dollars are for. Not to give corporations that make billions of dollars a year tax breaks, and the people that work for it to make $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, you don't pay taxes. I guess if I would have known I was going to live to be this old, I would have stayed in school. Wake up, have a cup of coffee, smell the roses, and remember everyone, we all live in the fertilizer. Love you.